Okay, Coach, we are about 15 miles south of downtown Buffalo at New Era Field in Orchard Park. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Keep playing hard.
Let's go now, let's go now, let's go now. 60 after all.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Get ready.
Check, 66. Go.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsay. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Okay, an early test. 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Bring it.
Looking to throw. Love. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Red 50. Plant. You ain't going nowhere. General. Max. Ready, go.
On 1st down, Love. They'll find Lindsay here. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. Now this time he'll look to throw. Got a man, Slayton. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver 1st down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsay. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Let's go, let's go. 60 Pittsburgh. Check, 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 check. Check, Germany. Mark 49. Recon, 132 right. I'm scared. Check, check 43. Go, go. Let up.
On second down, it's Lindsey, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. From the gun, Love. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. From the right hash, this from 48. And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
So the missed field goal, and now they're in great shape. They'll start at the 38. They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage and anybody could run them down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good,
Yeah.
backside guys, that's what you're supposed to do?
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Breshad Perriman, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
He's coming. 64, weak.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 14-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun. Love looking deep downfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Banjo. 4-7's a mic. 4-7. Hey, wahoo!
On 2nd and goal. Allen hit. He lost the football. Dances by him.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Mike 51.
Hey, Foxtrot. Middle.
51's the mic.
Check.
Allen now on 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Charlie. Check 45. Come on. Let's go.
From the gun, Love. And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Allen into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Throwing to start the drive. Love dancing to his left. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Hatchet. 80 weapon. 80 weapon. Yep. Motion. Bravo. 45. Mike. 45. Here we go. Ready, go.
Operating from the gun. Love. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
On second down now, it's Lindsey. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
They'll try to run with Lindsey. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Replay. Check 13.
They're going with Lindsey. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Philip Lindsey hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as they are now on the board here in the first half. So they went for it from the 1 on 4th and goal, and they got it done.
Is this the new NFL?
This is the new NFL.
This is the updated NFL, and I like it. I know that quarterbacks across the league have spent the entire offseason and even during the season lobbying their coaches to go for it more on 4th down. Let's go get it, because nowadays you've got to score points to win games in the NFL. You can't just rely on your defense to hold them.
I think the quarterbacks want to eliminate field goals inside of 30 yards probably.
Well, listen, they have enough confidence in themselves that they can call plays and make plays that they won't need those field goals inside the 30.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon, and he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup. Play action. Now it's Allen. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Von Miller, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. To the air, Allen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is now 14-10. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like when we talk about the defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah.
Check flag 47. Hey, orbit.
On play action, Allen, he's going to rifle one deep left side. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On third down, it's Pollard. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. Allen now looks to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up second and 10. To throw again, Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Bravo.
Throwing is Allen on third. Being chased out left. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10.
Check full alert.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
80 weapons.
Check. Lucky.
Go.
Lucky.
Sound. Go. Is that it?
47. Check flag 47.
Rabbit. Is that?
And now with a play clock winding down, a whistle and possibly a false start. On fourth down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here we go.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
45 to the mic. 45 to the
Back to throw. Love eluding the pressure right. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a tick under a minute to go before half. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Now Allen. Buying time to his left. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Tyler Kroft in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bills have retaken the lead. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Here's Pollard again. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a third down and 6 to go.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
51, Mike. Mike, 51. Hey, tight.
Hey, home.
There you go.
Go, Mike. Hey, exit.
And here's Allen to throw on third down. And that is incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Shotgun snap and a give to Lindsey. And again, this Buffalo defense there in run support to stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Here we go. 8-3. Let's go. You got Portis. Two, fellas, let's go. Look out. 49, guys. Mike, 49. Watch the pass.
To throw from his end zone. Love. Under pressure and down he goes in the end zone, and that's his safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Watch the curl. Check three. Check 24. Motion.
Here's Allen to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. He's got this one complete to Perriman. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
56.
A first down carry now for Yeldon. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Mike 27. Focus, defense, focus.
On play action, Allen. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, Love. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Love. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. You got 3 down. Hey, 86. Watch out for 86. Ready.
They'll run on 1st down. Lindsey, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun. Love. Flushed out right. He's good. And the ball comes out. Love lost it. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room where they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
It's going to be a long day. Scene 6. 49, guys.
On 1st and 10, Love, flush to his right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. He was pretty good a year ago in college, getting outside of the pocket and making plays, but it's a different story here in the NFL.
Well, in college, when he broke out of the pocket, his receivers often knew what to do in a scramble drill, and defenders weren't quite as adept at that. In the NFL, they work on that as well. They realize once he's out of the pocket, you can knock a receiver down. You can take him out of the play that way.
And this is caught inside the 5. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brings up second and goal at the 5-yard line.
Back now in Buffalo. It's the Bills with a lead and the football here to begin the fourth quarter. Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's third and goal. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Antonio Callaway, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Love. This is the tight end Fant. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Back to throw. Love. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
Okay, it's time for me to break out my thesaurus for that one. And I don't have anything. That was amazing. One-handed in this weather. I mean, you know the ball's got to be slick. But
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Gonna run again here with Pollard. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. That is caught. It's Perriman. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 22. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They'll run with Pollard, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll keep it on the ground. Pollard. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going.
They're running it.
On 52.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Now Allen to throw on 3rd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. Back now on EA Sports. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. This has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
The Bills bring out a couple of extra defensive backs to defend this 3rd down play.
Yeah, they're going dime.
Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up.
On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. On 4th down, Love. And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills, and they were really helped by their defense forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of. But now it's about taking the ball away, taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Bills,